Over the past 12 months, my 7 Airbnb properties generated an average monthly cash flow of $4,857 each. And none of this would have been possible if I didn't figure out how to find the right markets to launch my Airbnbs. So in this video, I'm going to reveal the 3 exact steps that I use to identify the most profitable Airbnb markets. So that way you can replicate my success and start building your own thriving Airbnb business. If you don't know who I am, my name is Preston. I built an Airbnb portfolio that generates $34,000 per month in net cash flow from just 7 Airbnbs across multiple states. But here's the thing, my success didn't happen by chance. It was the result of a strategic, data-driven approach to market selection. Because choosing the right market is absolutely crucial when it comes to Airbnb investing, especially if you're using the Airbnb arbitrage model. Now, here's what many people do wrong. A lot of these Airbnb investors make the mistake of jumping into a market without doing the proper research and analysis. So they might choose a location based on a personal preference or gut feeling, only to find out that the market's saturated, has low demand, or is subject to strict regulations that can hinder the ability to operate a profitable Airbnb business. Now, as a result, they often end up investing into subpar locations that don't generate the returns that they're hoping for. Now, of course, this can be incredibly frustrating and can even discourage people from pursuing Airbnb investing altogether. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. By following a simple 3-step process, you can take the guesswork out of market selection and also focus your efforts on the most profitable opportunities. So what is this 3-step process? Let me break it down for you. The first step is to identify markets that are friendly to Airbnbs and short-term rentals. This means looking for cities and towns that have favorable regulations and have a strong tourism industry. Some key indicators that I look for are no strict restrictions on short-term rentals, steady stream of visitors and tourists, having a diverse range of attractions and amenities, plus a growing population and economy. By focusing on Airbnb-friendly markets, you're going to be able to operate your business with fewer regulatory hurdles and also tap into a larger pool of potential guests. And then once you've identified some promising markets, the next step is to dive into the data. This is where tools like AirDNA come in really handy. AirDNA provides a wealth of information on Airbnb markets, including the occupancy rates, average daily rates, revenue potential, seasonality trends, competition levels, etc. By analyzing this data, you can get a clear picture of how all different markets are performing and which ones offer the best opportunities for growth and profitability. And then the final step is to evaluate the level of competition and saturation in each market. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, but Preston, what does that even mean? It means that even if a market looks great on paper, if there are already a ton of Airbnb listings in that area, it may be harder to stand out and attract bookings. Now, on the flip side, if there are a few listings, it could be a sign that there's not enough demand to support a profitable Airbnb business. So the key here is to find markets that have a healthy balance of demand and supply. You want to look for areas where there's enough demand to generate consistent bookings, but not so much competition that you're going to struggle to differentiate your listing. And to make this video even more valuable, I don't want to just leave you with this information and not show you how to put this in real use. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the 3 underrated markets that offer great potential without breaking the bank. Keep in mind, we're not chasing the highest possible returns here. Instead, we're looking at affordable markets with solid fundamentals and room for growth. First up is Mansfield, Ohio. Now, Mansfield might not be the first place you think of for Airbnb, but the numbers tell an exciting story. One of the main metrics I look at, similar to the 1% rule in long-term rental investing, is the revenue to price ratio. I personally like to look for anything that's 17+%. So for example, let's say a property costs $100,000. I want to see a minimum of $17,000 in annual revenue in order for this property to meet my cash on cash and also cash flow returns. Just like the 1% rule, it's not the end-all be-all metric, but it's a good indicator to me whether or not a property or market is going to be worth exploring further. And again, keep in mind that these are general numbers across the market. In order to get more granular about the numbers, we're going to want to deep dive into the specific properties to see how the property is going to perform. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Mansfield's occupancy rate is only 46%. You might think that's a red flag, but I see this as a massive opportunity. With the right marketing and property management, there's a huge potential to boost occupancy and also really maximize your returns. The average daily rate is about $216 across the entire year. The average revenue potential is $46,447. The seasonality score is 68, and the average home value is about $164,000, making it relatively affordable to enter the market. Now, what I'm going to do is head over to AirDNA and show you how I use that tool, and also show you what I like to look out for when I look at different properties, and also look at the highest performing properties in a given market and figure out how I can use those elements and put them into my own listing. So I'm here on AirDNA. I'm going to head over to the Mansfield market. So what I like to do from here is I like to go to the short-term rental listings, and then I like to sort by revenue. So what this does is it's going to list out the highest revenue potential properties. And then from here, I like to look at the different design, the photography, the different amenities that these properties have, and also the location. So for example, this property has a pool. It's generating $124,000 per year in revenue. And I like to take a few top performing properties so that way I can look for potential properties similar to this. And that way I know how to compete with different properties within this given market and give us a good idea of what we need to put in our own property to perform to these levels. As they say, don't fix what isn't broken. Now, what makes Mansfield unique, it's got a blend of history and pop culture. The Ohio State Reformatory, where the Shawshank Redemption movie was filmed here, which is a major draw. Plus, there's the Richland Carousel Park and the nearby Snow Trail Ski Resort for year-round attractions. The key is to tap into these unique selling points and market your Airbnb as a perfect base for exploring Mansfield's film history, but also enjoying its outdoor activities. Now, with the right approach, you can significantly boost your occupancy rate and turn Mansfield into your personal Airbnb goldmine. Next up on the list is Waco, Texas. Now, Waco is our most established market of the 3 I'm going to share today, but it still offers plenty of opportunities, so let's look into the numbers. The revenue to price ratio is 20%. The average occupancy rate is 50%. Average daily rate, we're looking at $226. The revenue potential is a little bit lower than Mansfield, Ohio at $34,741. And again, keep in mind, this is just average numbers across the entire market. The seasonality score, we're looking at 63, and the average home value is $172,421. Now, you might be wondering why I'm recommending a market with so many listings. And here's why. Waco's popularity means that there's a proven demand with only 50% occupancy. There's still room for newcomers to succeed. Like I said, the average home value is about $172,000, which is relatively affordable for the potential returns. And with the highest average daily rates among our 3 markets, visitors are willing to pay more for quality accommodations. We're going to head over to Airbnb again. We're going to do the same exercise that we did for Mansfield. We're going to head over to the STR listings. We're going to sort by revenue again. And as you can see, if you have a top performing property, you can absolutely crush it with your Airbnbs. Some of these properties are generating several hundred thousands of dollars per year in revenue. And so what you're going to want to do again is to find top performing properties, see where they're located, see how they do their design, the amenities, and everything in between, the photography, to see how they're standing out. Now, Waco's appeal is multifaceted. So for example, Magnolia Market, thanks to Chip and Joanna Gaines of the Fixer Upper fame, is a major draw. You also have Baylor University that brings in a steady stream of visitors. You also have the Texas Ranger Hall of Fame and the Dr. Pepper Museum that offer unique tourist experiences. Now, with so many listings, you have to ask yourself, how can you stand out? Maybe you can offer a Fixer Upper inspired design, or you can even partner with local attractions for special packages. The key here is to tap into Waco's popularity while offering something unique. The third market is Roswell, New Mexico. If you're looking for more predictable income, then this might be your answer. The revenue to price ratio is strong at 22%. The average occupancy rate is also the highest at 63%. The average daily rate is a little bit lower at $158, but the average revenue potential is one of the highest at $40,000. The seasonality score is great at 80, which also reflects in the average occupancy rate, and the average home value is about $185,000. The seasonality score here is crucial. It tells us that Roswell has consistent demand throughout the year, not only during peak seasons. So this translates to more reliable bookings and also steady income. And again, same exercise, we're going to head over to Airbnb, sort by revenue. So if we sort by revenue, you can take a look at all the top properties. So the biggest thing you want to do here is take out a piece of paper or even Excel spreadsheet, and you want to write down all the unique amenities, the design, the photography, and also where the properties are located to see how you can apply that into your own properties. Now, cool thing about Roswell is for its alien lore, but there's more to this market. We have the UFO Museum and also the Research Center that draws sci-fi enthusiasts year-round. There's the Bitter Lake National Wildlife Refuge that attracts nature lovers. You also have the New Mexico Military Institute that brings in a steady stream of visitors for events and graduations. And again, your marketing strategy is going to be crucial here. So you want to lean into the alien theme if you want, but also highlight Roswell's natural beauty and also educational attractions. By appealing to a diverse range of visitors, you can maintain that high occupancy rate and maybe even push it higher. As you can see, by following this simple 3-step process and using tools like Airbnb, you can quickly evaluate the potential of different markets and make data-driven decisions about where to invest. Now we're going to talk about how we can put this 3-step process into action. The first thing is start by making a list of potential markets that interest you. Look for cities and towns that have strong tourism industry and also a growing economy. The second tip is to use tools like Airbnb to gather data on each market. You also want to pay attention to key metrics like revenue to price ratio, seasonality, and also the revenue potential that we already went through. Tip number 3 is to evaluate the competition level in each market. You can check this by looking at the number of existing Airbnb listings. You also want to look for markets that have a healthy balance of demand and supply. Tip number 4 is once you've narrowed down your list to a few top contenders, you're going to want to dig deeper into the regulatory environment and also the local market conditions. Make sure there are no red flags that could hinder your ability to operate a successful Airbnb business. Now, if you want to dive deeper into these strategies and tools that I use to find profitable Airbnb markets and also build a thriving Airbnb business, I've put together a free training where I walk you through the strategies and tactics you need to succeed with Airbnb, whether you're starting with arbitrage or going straight into purchasing. Now, in this training, you're going to learn the top 5 indicators of a profitable Airbnb market, how to use Airbnb and also other tools to analyze market potential. I'm going to go through my proven strategies for creating standout listings and generating consistent bookings, how to negotiate win-win deals with landlords, how to automate your operations, how to scale your portfolio quickly, all without needing to buy a single property. I'm also going to go through case studies of successful Airbnb arbitrage properties in different markets. If you want to get instant access to this free training, you can click the link in the description below. Now let's quickly recap the 3-step process for finding profitable Airbnb markets. Number 1 is to identify Airbnb-friendly markets with favorable regulations and a strong tourism industry. Number 2 is to analyze market data using tools like Airbnb to evaluate key metrics like occupancy rates, average daily rates, and also the revenue potential. Number 3 is to evaluate competition and saturation to find markets with a healthy balance of demand and supply. By following this process, you can use data to guide your decisions, and you can take the guesswork out of market selection and focus your effort on the most profitable opportunities. Remember, building a successful Airbnb business starts with choosing the right market. So don't skip out on this crucial step. Take the time to do the research and trust the data. It can make all the difference in your success. If you found this video valuable, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Airbnb investing content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.